you have to train your anus to be able to take certain sizes, and then everybody's body is different. So the way my body works is that my second hole is like at an angle, and if you're not hitting that angle, you're kind of like hitting a wall. That's where the pain comes in, right?
Welcome to Butch Queen After Dark, where the conversations are filthy, the guests are beautiful, and your host, me, is always in somebody's damn business. Today's guest is someone who is impossible not to love. A go-go dancer, a content creator with a big smile, a big heart, a big dick, and a big ass. Please welcome Jesus Really.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yay!
much. Yay.
Yes, so let's get into it. So you know what I'm all about. I'm about to get into the nasty questions of it all. Feel free to answer what you'd like. If you don't like the question, we could pass, but I'll just ask you another nasty question.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
go.
So to start, what was your sexual awakening?
That's a good question. My sexual awakening, it was, I want to say, I was like, when I was hitting puberty, just like everybody else, I got to the internet and it was Murder, She Wrote.
So you just did you discover that you were queer on the internet, or did you know that already?
I knew it. So the first time I realized I was queer was in the third grade. I had a crush on one of my classmates. I didn't know
Mm,
what I was feeling, but I knew that whenever people would ask me, especially like family, in Puerto Rican, like, you always get asked, do you got a little girlfriend? Got a little
right.
girlfriend?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would just never feel like that. I'll be like, no.
Right.
So
Right.
when I was in third grade, I had a crush on this little boy, and that kind of like was a domino effect.
Okay, yeah, that question is so interesting. Like, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have I bet you got a whole bunch of girlfriends. Like, these are children. Like, these are children. Like, I remember getting those questions. That's so weird. Like, it's so fucking weird. But good. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. What's the freakiest thing you've ever done?
Hmm. That's interesting. I feel like I'm very mild when it comes to that because there are levels.
There are levels. Talk
Yeah.
about what are the levels? What are the levels for you? Like, what is the level of freak for you?
The level of freak for me, I feel like I enjoy a lot of group fun. If
Hmm.
people out there don't know what that means, it's basically when you get like a group of whatever you're attracted to, when it's all consensual and you're just having a good old time. I like public fun, within measure of not getting in trouble. I don't think that's not fun for me. So I like having group fun, like public play. Anything that's really spontaneous in the moment and
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that positive spin on it, right? Like it's consensual, everyone's agreeing on it, everyone's having a good time, everyone's making each other feel good. That's what makes really good sex. So I love that you said that. What is your sexual fantasy?
My sexual fantasy at the moment, pretty much like something spontaneous, where you have like this undeniable chemistry
Mhm.
energetically. Honestly, I do some sexy guys. Just something that's unexpected, right? Not something that's like necessarily planned out. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but something that's
Yeah, yeah.
unexpected. You meet some sexy guys, and you kick it off, and you have a really memorable moment that lasts for lifetimes.
Okay, so you mentioned spontaneity a lot. You seem to have a spontaneity kink, right? You like when things are just kind of happening, when the moment's right. You didn't really plan it. It just happened. When's the last time you had a spontaneous moment? Tell us about that time.
That's interesting. The last time I had a spontaneous moment, I want to say I had a few spontaneous moments at Folsom. I went
Okay,
to
so you went to
Folsom.
Folsom. Okay.
Yeah, I went to Folsom at the end of I think it was September, and I went for
Mhm.
the
Yep.
first time, and it was a lot of fun. Like I'm really blessed to have a lot of great experiences with a lot of great people, a lot of positive experiences. Folsom was definitely like a kind of like a culture shock because sex is very much stigmatized, and even being a sex worker and stuff like that, sometimes the fun can get taken out of sex. But what it really opened my eyes to is that like there's a world out there full of positivity and full of positive people who are not ashamed.
Yes.
And so it
Yeah.
was just fun feeling free like that. Feeling free feels really good and sexy.
Yeah. I love that. And I saw a picture of you butt ass naked in the middle of the street at Folsom. How do you get the confidence to just be out here naked like
I think for me, it's just not wanting to be scared, right? Um, a lot of times there's a lot of fear that's associated with wanting to do things that are natural because that's what we're taught, or indoctrinated to believe, oh, there's this, I never want to feel ashamed about something that's natural. So it's been a long journey, but, I know that if I'm able to do it, I can inspire somebody else to feel, proud and feel good and secure about themselves because there's nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
It feels good for a reason.
There is nothing wrong with it. So, quick story, I was in Japan, last month or 2 months ago, with my husband, and, we went to an onsen, which is like a spa type situation or whatever, and, I've been to the men's spa before, like, people get naked, it's totally fine, whatever. But we were there, and there were kids there, and the kids was getting naked, and I was like, "Uh, no, this is too like, no, like, that's that no, I'm outta like, we gotta go," because I'm American, like, American culture says you don't do that, especially around kids, like, you don't be naked around kids, and kids should not be naked around you, right? But the more I thought about it, I was like, "Damn, this is so cool that the kids in Japan are being trained to believe that that's okay," because actually it is, like, it's totally fine to be naked. The naked body is it's ours, like, it is the foundation, so I love that you have that, that the feeling and knowing that your body is beautiful, that it's not to be shamed to be naked. Like, have you always felt that way?
Yeah, honestly, in a lot of different cultures, I love that you brought up, like the fact of being American, right? I'm American too. I was born in America. I was born in Philly and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
basically, in a lot of other cultures, there's nothing wrong with nudity because nudity is not inherently sexual. And
Right.
so a lot of people get those things misconstrued because we're taught that they go hand in hand. No,
Right.
they don't, unfortunately, as we are seeing in today's world and the things and the events that are playing out,
Right.
the powers that be have taught us to think this way for a reason, right? It's like basically anybody that's ashamed of something, if I if I treat you a certain way, it's because I treat myself that way. The way people treat you is a reflection of themselves.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
I'm ashamed of something, it's because I have something to hide. It's because I feel like I'm doing something wrong, right? And what is
That's
fear?
right.
Fear is control. So if I can convince you to think that you're doing something wrong when there's nothing wrong at all with it, I can control you.
Mm. Ah. Ugh. A word. A word. And in America, there's a lot of control. For sure. For sure. Yes, very good. Now, how did you get into making content? How'd you get into porn in the first place?
Basically, I've always struggled with insecurities just like everybody else does, it's very a natural part of life and growing. And so I started working out on my body at the age of like 17 when I was in high school. And that really kind of helped me build the confidence and sense of self to the point where, I never felt like judgment towards anybody or anything for any reason. But especially when it comes to like, sex work, I always thought, that's something that I could do, because I'm very open-minded like that. And so it started off with me showing off my body on the internet, like on Instagram. And so it went from me showing my body to showing like my backside because I felt really good about that. Growing up in Philadelphia, growing up Puerto Rican, as a gay man, you are not allowed to do those things. You have to be very like hyper masculine or what they tell you masculine is. And so I never felt ashamed about being gay. I knew that for survival that I had to like be careful about where I did it,
Mhm.
because I didn't want to make any problems for myself. So, but on the internet, it's different, because you have access to this whole world. Yes, there are people just like in real life on the internet that are negative, but there are also people who are positive, and you can really create a support system and have people acknowledge you and appreciate you, for loving something. So
Right. Right.
I
Right.
felt good about my body. I felt good about myself. I, wanted to show it off. When you're proud, you show things off and so that's how it started. Moved on to Twitter because on Twitter you're allowed to post more sexually explicit content.
Mhm.
And it was like opening the floodgate, like, you know.
So you start doing it, it's working out for you. Did you run into any roadblocks in the process?
Yeah, plenty of roadblocks, honestly. Like just how we're talking about in real life, this country tries to make you feel ashamed. And so how does that play into social media? Control, right?
Hmm.
You have to fit a narrative. As a sex worker, you realize that they pick and choose who they want to enforce certain rules, on certain people, and then others they won't do it. So you might see somebody with a million followers who does the same exact thing that you do, but maybe they're not like you, especially when it comes to like these straight content creators. A
Yes.
lot of them get away with murder. And so, God forbid I post a picture of my cheeks, my account gets taken down. And I've been through that. Like, I've had like millions of accounts taken down, and it's frustrating, but you just got to get back up again and keep doing it. Even in the sex industry, it can get very dark, but that's not all there is. And you have to have a strong sense of self and a strong willpower, because if you don't know who you are, it's very easy to get lost. It's very easy to become susceptible to people who like to prey on people who may not have had that experience. If you haven't had a bad experience, how are you going to know that it's out there,
That's right.
or
That's right.
what to beware of?
Right. It sounds like you have a strong community around you. Can you talk about the people in your life that maybe support you through those darker times and getting you just making you feel like you have support?
Honestly, I'm really blessed to have the people that I have in my life, but my like honestly myself, like I've
Mhm.
always been like had myself. Sometimes a lot of times, when you have a strong sense of self and you don't go on the same path other people take, sometimes you feel like you're walking your own path. You march to the beat of your own drum. A lot of people are dealing with their own things on their path at their own pace, and that's okay. But honestly, I've been my biggest supporter. I've been, just learn how to life coach myself and be my own cheerleader and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
just not necessarily wait for people, but let people catch up when they're ready.
What is your number 1 kink?
That is a good question.
Or you can list them all and we can figure out which ones you like. We can rank them.
It's kind of crazy because I feel like I don't have many kinks in this spectrum, because it's such a big spectrum. Honestly, my biggest kinks is it's gonna sound so vanilla. It's like being dominated, but also being dominant in that submissiveness, if that makes sense.
Okay, let's break that down. You said being dominated, but being dominant in that submissiveness. Are you
Yes.
speaking to being a dominant bottom, right?
Yes.
Or, yeah, a power bottom, but more so a dominant bottom. You are fucking him
Yeah.
with your ass,
Me-
right? Your ass is the dick in the situation. Tell me more about that.
Um, I I love it because for me, it it's not always like that, right? I know that looking from the outside in, especially, with sex work and adult performers, it can seem like, you always have this experience with everybody, and it's easy, but it doesn't always happen with everyone, because you don't always necessarily have that connection or really that trust.
Mhm.
A lot of people, you might be meeting them for the first time and stuff like that. You barely know them and stuff like that, but energy really speaks for itself and stuff like that. So when I'm able to feel like I can trust, somebody to dominate me, but also reciprocate and allow me to take in the reins too, because I like to have fun too. I just a balance. It's always
It's a
about
balance.
balance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, when you can go back and forth with somebody, feels really, 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 really good.
Yeah, okay, I love that little power exchange. When you've made content, have you ever fallen for someone while making content?
I wouldn't say falling for somebody. I would say that some connections definitely feel deeper than others, right? Like, For me, sex is very spiritual, right?
Mm.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that if I have a deep connection with you or I have like a very amazing spiritual experience with you, that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be in a relationship with you or that we're in love because I can appreciate it for what it is. It's really about not making it more than what it is and also not making
Yes.
it less.
Yes.
Appreciating it for what it is.
Yeah.
And so I would say that with some people, you'll connect with them and you'll feel like there's something deeper than I would say a non-strings attached type of situation. But that doesn't mean that necessarily that you want to walk down the aisle with somebody.
I love that so much because it's so true. Like, you can have the best sex ever, be emotionally connected, hearts tied up. You are making love, and then it's over. And you have to be like, okay, that was that, and this is this. We going back to our lives. Like, yeah, yeah, sex can be great. It does not have to lead to a marriage. In fact, I feel like it most of times shouldn't. Just have sex for sex, you
Yeah,
know?
literally really staying in the moment. I think that a lot of people get caught up in fantasy. Hey, I've been there too. I've been
Yeah,
there
of
too,
course.
especially being a young gay,
Of
you
course.
know, especially in Philadelphia. Like I wouldn't say that there's the biggest gay scene, like it's there and stuff like that, but you have to know where to go and who's in it and stuff like that. So like it's easy to feel like, especially, television, oh my God, heteronormativity, like
Yeah,
everything's
everywhere.
heteronormatized. So you feel like you have to go about it a certain way. Um, but no, honestly, like every experience has worth, and so
Yeah, let it be that. Just let it be that. I love that. Okay. What is a fetish you discovered that you had no idea that you might be into?
oh, a fetish that I discovered that like
Yeah, like it
bondage,
snuck up on you.
BDSM, I
Okay,
want to say,
bondage. Okay, yeah.
what is it called? Shibari. I think Shibari,
Yeah, the ropes.
where you get
Okay.
tied up in ropes and stuff like that. It's just so crazy. It's crazy how the mind works, right? Because if you haven't had it, a lot of us think that we might not be into something because we haven't experienced it or have had a good experience, right?
Mm,
And so I didn't know how much fun it could be until like I tried it with someone and it was like amazing. Like I was fucking feral. Like I feel like the building, right? Everybody
yeah.
thinks it's about the climax. No, it's really about the build and the time
Yes.
that you put into it, like brick by
Yes.
brick and stuff like that. And
Yes.
the anticipation, just relishing in that, oh my God, it feels so freaking good. And so my misconception was that it was painful or that
Okay.
everybody that does it is all about pain because for some people it is pleasurable.
For sure.
I can see that. But I'm not, I don't like pain. I don't like getting slapped in my face. Like, I
Okay.
don't like, I really don't like pains.
Yeah.
Even like necessarily like when I'm bottoming and stuff like that, a lot of people see me taking big ass dicks, right?
Yeah,
So
that was my next question. You don't like pain? You not in pain?
no, I at all. I don't like pain at all, even with bottoming and stuff like that. So maybe this is gonna lead into your next question. Like, so a lot of people don't understand like there's a second hole, right?
Yes.
And so a lot of people don't understand what that means. I didn't even understand. I didn't understand what it means. I just thought you stick a dick in there and you're fine. No, like you have to train your anus to be able to take certain sizes, and then everybody's body is different. So the way my body works is that my second hole is like at an angle, and if you're not hitting that angle, you're kind of like hitting a wall. That's where the pain comes in, right?
Copy. Yes.
That's
Yes.
where the pain comes in, and it's not pleasurable because you're hitting a wall, and that's painful for me, I feel it. But once you get into that second hole, that's where you see the videos where I'm going in and stuff like that, but that was only with a partner where they were patient and weren't necessarily in a rush. A lot of times I find that a lot of tops, a a lot of selfish tops really,
Yeah.
only in it for themselves and stuff like that, and so they think that they're just gonna with some people, they can do that, and that's great, but everybody's not like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. I think tops go in a lot of times tops go in only caring about themselves. Like, if I feel good, they must feel good. And it's like, no, there is, like you said, there's levels to this, right? And speaking about the second hole, that's so real. You go into that first, so the first hole is your butthole, right? You go into that hole, and then there's a curve. It's a curve because we're leading into whatever the next organ is up there. I don't remember what it is, but oh, the colon. We're leading into the colon. There's like a little curve, and you want to get, and you'll feel it as a top. You will feel yourself entering that second hole. It'll feel like a little porthole, like you're in the first hole, and you'll feel like a little "Toop," like you'll feel it and you know you're in there, but you have to be in the right position. You need to use a lot of lube. You need to be talking to your bottom. You need to be, angling your bottom, like you said, in a way that you can almost flatten that canal out because it's curved. So like flatten it out a little bit so you can get in there, right? It takes a lot of maneuvering. It takes a lot of communication. You can't just jam it in. It's not gonna feel good for the bottom, and that really sucks. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for that insight. Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to say, because I also understand as a top, like it takes patience, right? But a lot of times, especially seeing porn and stuff like that, really
Yes.
just, especially with content creating OnlyFans, like it's everybody's been doing it, and you can see that now, and everybody's having these great experiences, but it's not necessarily that easy. So I can understand as a top how it would be frustrating because you're seeing this person get fucked online, and like it's easy, and all of a sudden you come in, you may feel like you may take it personal. You may think, oh, like is it me, or is it that this person, is it something that I'm doing wrong? No, it's just that it really just takes
Mm.
patience.
Alright, so we're gonna play a little game, and it's called The Perfect Collaboration, okay? So in this game, I'm gonna tell you a scenario, and then you tell me who the people are that you're gonna collab with in the scenario. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Alright. Alright, first one. You have booked the perfect orgy scene. There's one top, one bottom, and one verse guy. Who you collabing with in each role?
Oh damn. You said one top, one bottom, and one verse. Man, this is gonna be hard.
If it's hard, we'll just do one top.
And it can be anybody or like somebody that
Anybody in the entire world, alive or dead, in this perfect collab for you.
I forget. Okay. Actually, one person that I wish I would have gotten to work with that I fucking love. I don't know if you know Python.
I thought, yeah, yes. Oh wow. Oh, rest in peace. I didn't
Yeah.
know Python passed away.
No, I don't think he passed away, but I know that like I haven't seen any studio because he um what was the name of the studio?
Dog Pound.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
used to do a lot of video for Dog Pound and stuff
Oh
like that,
yes.
but that was like not I don't want to make it seem like it's prehistoric, but
No,
time is just going by so fast.
it's going fast. I mean, this is, I imagine his scenes were around 2006, 2007 ish, right? So yeah, at this point, that is 20 years ago, which is wild to think like that Dog Pound is classic porn. Poppy Thugs, Tag Ass, like that is classic porn now.
It honestly, that's kind of like to touch back on the question of like my sexual awakening. That was really my sexual awakening was seeing like
Yeah,
these fucking beautiful men, and it was raw, it was
yeah.
unfiltered, and it was organic. Like it didn't feel like even at that time before I was even doing sex work and filming porn, like you can tell when things are overproduced.
Yes, 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 yes. I loved their stuff. It was so good. Okay.
To this
Ne
day.
To this day, yeah, I still jerk off to Dog Pound USA. I got all the files saved in my shit. Okay, another scenario. The bottom buffet. You walk into a room and there are 3 bottoms face down, ass up, waiting for you. Name all 3, or 2 or 1 if you can't think of 3.
Okay, and now this is a really good question. There are a few bottoms. Oh man,
And they have to be verse and just bottoming that night.
I don't want to make anybody feel left out. So I love all my bottoms. I have a
Okay,
huge
yeah,
respect for bottoms. I love bottoms.
yeah.
My top three. There's this one person on Twitter. I think I forget his exact handle. His name is Julius. if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. There's Julius and his handle. There's this one performer named Star Lord.
Our Lord. Okay, I
I
gotta look
think
him up.
I think he's in the UK. You do need to look him up. He's amazing.
Okay, I love his name.
You're gonna love his work. Who else? Who else? And then I want to say there's another one. His name is I think Kai Official.
Kai Official. Okay. Okay. Okay, so why these 3 bottom?
Because basically what I look for in a bottom is somebody who's like me when I bottom, who's very raw, um, and really into it. I feel like with a lot of guys are not haven't gotten to that level of like being comfortable with bottoming, especially on camera, due to the fact that a lot of gay men have been taught that like being a bottom is also like being seen as feminine or not as manly, not as much of a man as a top, right? So what happens? You got a lot of these tops that act like they don't take dick because they feel like it makes them feel like less of a man. And so it you can see that on camera. They're not as
Mm,
comfortable. They're not going as hard as maybe they would go in private.
yeah.
I'm not like that. When you see me motherfucking bottoming, I'm going in.
Every
I'm
time.
having fun. I'm enjoying it. And so with these performers that I named and stuff like that, like that's what I see when I see them. I see that energy. They
Yeah,
bring that energy, you know. Usually it's always about the top. When it comes to these performers, like they show no, like, don't count me out. Don't think that I'm just another fucking hole, you
that's
know?
right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, that to bring it back, that is that dominant bottom energy. Like, you know how important you are, how much worth you have as a bottom in this community. Like, and a good one, please. Like, please. All right. So we're coming towards the end. So I'm gonna do some listener questions. One of them you kind of answered already. We might answer it again, but I'm gonna start with this one.
Let's
All
do it.
right. So this one says, David, I am a feminine man who wants to try go-go dancing, but I'm scared. I love heels. I love makeup. I want to be soft, but the clubs here are very masculine centered. I'm not sure where they're from. How do I get the confidence to express myself fully on stage without letting ignorant people kill my shine? I want you to answer this.
And so they said go-go dancing.
Yeah, so they want to be a go-go dancer, but it seems like they have feminine expression. And I found this question because I know I've seen you dance, and I've seen you dance in heels, in boots. Like I've seen you go off and really turn a crowd out. So maybe you could help this person a little bit.
Hell yeah. So literally this goes back to like how I was talking about when you asked about having the confidence to be naked. Like you have to think to yourself, like you never want to live a life of shame, really, you know, like you don't, nobody wants to be ashamed. Nobody wants to be controlled. And so, what I would say to that person, if you're having these thoughts, imagine how many other people are having those thoughts, right? Feeling the
Hmm.
same way about expressing themselves and not being accepted. You know, allow that to be a fire to motivate you because you're not doing anything wrong. You're not hurting anybody. You're not hurting anybody. You're not hurting yourself. In fact, you're helping people heal because
Yes.
when you show, "Hey, I'm proud of who I am. I
Yes.
love who I am," it shows other people like, "Hey, maybe I could be proud." Especially the
Yes.
naysayers, especially the haters, you know? They're the ones that love what you do the most. It's just that unfortunately, if I don't tell myself I don't love myself, I'm not gonna tell you I love you, you know?
Yes.
So, it's important to do those things, and especially in today's date where constantly our community is, like, feeling, like, erased, feeling like we're being made out to be something that we're not just because we're living our truth, right? It's all about living in your truth. And especially, I want to say this to all my feminine gay men, you know, because I feel like I'm feminine, but there are levels, you know.
Hmm.
So I love feminine gay men. I want you to know how important you are to this world. I know how it feels to be made feel like you're not accepted and like there's something wrong with you, like you're not enough. You're not man enough. When you're a gay man, what do they say? Stop acting like a girl, stop acting like a girl. When you're a fucking transgender woman, what do they say? Oh, you're a man, you're a man. Be yourself.
Yeah,
Being yourself is gonna take you so far that everybody else is gonna end up wanting to catch up. But if you stay stuck with everybody, because misery loves company, if you stay
yes,
stuck with everybody, you're it's just gonna be it's gonna feel like a void, it's gonna feel like an abyss. We've all seen the effects of that, we're all dealing with the effects of that, in our own way. People turn to escapism.
that's right. Beautifully said. Really, really beautifully said. I'm so happy you brought up that, expressing yourself in that way will not hurt anyone, but it will help someone. And what hurts, I mean, not deliberately, but what hurts is when we fit in, like when we just accept that the control, like we should be in this control group, when we accept that, that's what hurts us, right? Stepping outside of that box and being like, I'm different, I'm myself, that only helps other people be themselves. And one helps the other, helps the other, helps the other before the whole world is just being their damn self. And no one gives a fuck about all these differences, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, beautifully said. We are at the end. I'm going to ask you one more question.
Yes.
How does one be freaky out here, sexy, safe, just like you are?
I'm so, so sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yes, yes.
That's right.
So, how do people get the confidence, the gumption to be out here being freaky, safe, sexy, having fun, living the life close to what you live in?
Would say just really by embracing themselves and just seeing how natural and organic it is, it's powerful, like self-love is extremely powerful when you can have it for yourself, let alone share it with somebody else, It's not, from the outside looking in, I can understand how, especially when it comes to like sex, right? Because a lot of people don't have those positive experiences with sex, So it can seem like it's impossible or or it's unattainable. It can seem like the fantasy, right? We think that
Mhm.
it's a fantasy that we're putting on an act or it's like a dream. It's reality, What you manifest is what you make your reality. So it's just really being proud and understanding that it's very healing. Sex can be very healing when it's positive, when it's healthy, when you're being responsible, when you're being accountable, making sure that your needs are being met. There's nothing wrong with having needs and wanting them to be met. It's just how you go about doing it. And so it's all about knowing that there's a positive experience out there and not letting a not so positive experience make you feel like that's all there is.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Jesus, you are amazing. Thank you so
Thank you, David.
much for coming, sharing all your wonderful insight. I really, really appreciate you. Oh, how do people reach you? How do they contact you? And is there anything you want to plug? This won't come out for a couple of months, but let me know if there's anything you want to plug.
So, Instagram, my Instagram handle is Jesus really underscore JESUSREALLY underscore. Then my Twitter is Jesus underscore really underscore.
Gotcha.
And I want to plug self love. I love y'all to the people who support me, who, I may not see all the time. I feel your love. I know that the message is being received. To the people who are looking for community, who need a strong sense of community, just know you're not alone and keep your head up. We're going through hard times, but we will get through it the same way we always have. I also want to say, so I love you so much, David. Like you are such a huge inspiration. Your energy, just the way you acknowledge people and you make people feel seen and welcome. I'm super proud of you. I know I'm not the only one who loves you. You and your husband, thank you for being such beautiful lights in this community and just spreading the love. Because I know it's not easy when you're the loving one. It's not
Yes.
easy and sometimes it can be discouraging.
Yes.
But thank you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate that. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. And again, thank you for doing this.
Yay! The pleasure is all mine. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Awesome. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, babe.
Bye, love.